Hello and welcome to this video tutorial of making your own striped crochet bucket hat. This bucket hat, I literally saw a vision of in my head one day and I was like, I need it. And I was going on vacation, so I needed it even sooner. But it is the best bucket hat. I love how fitted it is to my face and then it gradually whips out along the brim. Love it. This is the first bucket hat I made. I had no tweaks to the pattern. There's a couple rows at the end that are increased to make the brim, and other than that, it's just worked single crochets. And we are changing colors every 5 rounds, but after every 4 of the main color, which is the white in this case. And in this video, I'm going to make a blue and tan bucket hat. So you will not be seeing me make this one, unfortunately, but a blue and tan bucket hat. This bucket hat pattern is a one-size-fits-all pattern, but if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to leave comments and I will try to help you alter the pattern along the way. Maybe you need a bigger or smaller bucket hat. I don't know, I feel like my head is pretty average, so hopefully this is a standard size bucket hat for everyone. But looking at this pattern, yes, there are only 2 colors you will need, but you will need 2 skeins of the main color and then 1 skein of the stripe color. In this case, it is the black. And I chose to use cotton yarn because I believe cotton yarn is the one yarn that is the most stiff. And it's probably best for the environment, so just a win-win. And I did know I wanted the bucket hat to be somewhat stiff and not flimsy. But I really like cotton yarn because of the stiff factor, and I just think it turned out great overall. So I can't wait to make this blue and tan one. Here are all the materials you will need for this pattern. We are going to use 2 skeins of color A in 120 yards each, and then 1 skein of 120 yards in color B. And then we're going to use stitch markers, a 4.5mm crochet hook. We will need a measuring tape, a darning needle, and scissors. The stitch abbreviations we will be using for this pattern will be MR for magic ring, SC for single crochet, INC for increase, and SLST for slip stitch. Note that when working this pattern, the 2 skeins you will be using will be referred to as color A. These 2 colors will make up the main color of your crochet bucket hat. And the 1 skein you will be using will refer to as color B, which will make the accent stripes along the crochet bucket hat. So starting off, you're going to take your 1 skein of color A and your 4.5mm crochet hook, and we're going to single crochet 6 stitches into a magic ring. And to start a magic ring, we're going to place our yarn in the front of our 2 fingers and secure it with our thumb, then tie it around to make it cross in the front here, but not in the back. And then we're going to hold it with our ring finger and then insert our hook under the first stitch over the second to pull through, and then twist, and then grab that yarn that your ring finger is holding and pull through. And that's a magic ring. And now we're going to single crochet 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to pull this tight to secure the magic ring. So that is the end of round 1, and now for round 2, we are going to make increased stitches into all of these 6 stitches. So we should have 12 single crochets or 12 stitches total when we finish round 2. So to increase, we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch, and then we're going to yarn over, pull through. There's our first single crochet, And here's our second single crochet. So we have 2 stitches into that first stitch. We're going to repeat this till we have 12 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I usually don't use a stitch marker on the increase round, but I use it from round 3 and beyond. So now moving on to round 3, we're going to single crochet 1, increase 1. We're going to single crochet into this first stitch. In this first stitch, we're going to insert our stitch marker. And then we're going to increase into this second stitch. And then we're going to repeat that until we reach the end. So single crochet 1, increase 1. Now moving on to round 4, we're going to single crochet 1, increase, and then single crochet 2, increase throughout the round. And on the last stitch, we're going to single crochet 1. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker. I'm going to single crochet into this first stitch, and then I'll put my stitch marker back. Okay. And then I'm going to increase into the second stitch, and then single crochet 2, increase, and repeat that until we get to the last stitch, the single crochet 2, increase. So now we are on the last stitch, and we're going to change colors every 4 rows. So on the last stitch of the 4th row, we're going to change colors. We're going to work a normal single crochet by inserting my hook, yarning over, pulling through, but I'm going to grab my color B yarn. So with my color B yarn, I'm going to put it in the front of the crochet hook and pull through those 2 loops. Make sure you kind of pull tight on the color A yarn. It's something you may have to work with, but this is what it should look like after you've finished round 4. Now moving on to round 5, we're going to single crochet 3, increase throughout the round with our color B yarn. So remove our stitch marker and then single crochet 1, single crochet 2, single crochet 3, increase, and work that throughout the round until you get to the last stitch. So I've reached my last stitch in my round 5, and I am going to increase on the last stitch, but I am going to change the color back to color A along the last increase stitch. So here's the first stitch in the increase, and then for the second, I'm just going to find color A, over, pull through, and then kind of pull tight on color B. And that is round 5. Now moving on to round 6, we're going to single crochet 2, increase, and then single crochet 4, increase throughout the round, and then single crochet 2 into the last 2 stitches. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker and single crochet. And then the second single crochet. And then I'm going to increase. And then single crochet 4, increase. And now I've reached my last 2 stitches, so I'm going to single crochet into both of them. And now for round 7, we're going to single crochet 5, increase. So you're probably getting the hang of it. Remove your stitch marker, first single crochet, replace your stitch marker, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase. And keep working that until you reach the stitch marker. You should see your bucket hat starting to come to life. And now we're moving on to round 8, and we're going to single crochet 3, increase, single crochet 6, increase throughout the round, and then single crochet 3 into the last 3 stitches. So again, remove the stitch marker, make the first single crochet, insert your stitch marker back into that first single crochet, and then start the other single crochets, 2, 3, and then increase. And single crochet 1, single crochet 2, single crochet 3, single crochet 4, single crochet 5, single crochet 6, and then increase. And then we're going to repeat that until we reach the last 3 stitches. And on these last 3 stitches, we're just going to single crochet, 1, 2, and 3. And that is the end of round 8. And now we're going to start on round 9, which is single crochet 7, increase. And keep in mind too, this is the last round of 4 rows. You can see 1, 2, 3, and we're going to make the 4th. So on the last stitch of this round, we're going to change the color to color B. So just single crochet 7, increase. So now I'm on the last stitch, which is the increase, and on that second increase I'm going to change to color B. There's one, and then because it is still attached here, we're not going to drag it, but instead we're going to cut the same length that we probably have here of color B. Cut. And then we're going to use this to change color. So that is the end of round 9. Now we're moving on to round 10, and this is going to be our second stripe of color B. You'll get the hang of after every 4th row we'll change colors. So this round we're going to single crochet 4, increase, and then single crochet 8 within the round, increase, and then single crochet 4. And then on the last stitch, on the last single crochet 4, we're going to change our color back to color A. Also, we won't be cutting color A throughout this bucket hat. We'll only be cutting color B. So here's our first single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to increase, and then we're going to single crochet 8 and increase throughout the round. So here I have the last 4 stitches, and I'm going to change the color on the 4th stitch. So I'm just going to pull through, and then I'm going to grab the blue yarn and pull through. Now then we're going to single crochet 9, increase. Okay, single crochet 9, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, increase. And then just repeat that throughout the round until we reach the stitch marker. Now moving on to round 12, we're going to single crochet 5, increase, single crochet 10, increase within the round, and then single crochet 5 into the last 5 stitches. There's our first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet 5 or 4 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then increase, That is our single crochet 5 increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 increase. Now we're going to single crochet 10 increase, and then until we get to the last 5 stitches. And now we have the last 5 stitches, so we just finished the increase, and then we're going to single crochet 5 to end the round. Now moving on to round 13, we're going to single crochet 11 throughout the whole round. Here's our first single crochet. I'm going to put the stitch marker in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we're going to increase. And we're going to repeat that until we reach the stitch marker. And this is the end of round 13. And now for our last round to finish off the top of the hat, we're going to single crochet 6 increase, and then single crochet 12 increase throughout the round, and then there should be 6 extra stitches we will single crochet 6 into. And on that last 6th stitch, we are going to change the color to color B. So this is our first stitch. I'm going to single crochet 5 more. And then we're going to increase. And now we're going to single crochet 12 increase all throughout until we get to the last 6 stitches. Here's our 12 stitches, and then we're going to increase. And then start that again. Okay, so I finished my last single crochet 12 increase, and I'm going to single crochet into the remaining 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, then on this last stitch, we're going to change to color B. So we will have to cut from here. Then we're going to take that end. I'm going to take the end of color B and slide it through this last stitch. Tighten it up a little bit. And now we've finished the top of the hat, and we're now going to work on making the body of the bucket hat. Now we're going to start working the body of the hat, and in this section we are not going to do any increases. Instead, we're just going to single crochet, but making sure we are switching colors every 4 rounds. So now we're on round 15, and we're just going to single crochet in color B. So just crochet in color B until you reach the stitch marker. Okay, and now we've reached the last stitch, and we are going to switch to color A. And then for the next 4 rows, we are going to single crochet in color A. And I will meet you back once we've finished those 4 rows. I'm on the last stitch of round 19, and this stitch I'm going to change to color B. So I do need to cut the previous yarn. And now I am ready for round 20. We're going to repeat doing this 3 more times, where we are going to have 3 rows of the stripe of our color B, and then 4 rows of color A. So then 1 stripe color B, 1 stripe color A, repeated 3 times until we get to round 34. So we are starting round 20, and if we repeat 3 times, we will end on round 34. Okay, so I finished single crocheting up until round 34, and this is what the bucket hat is looking like. You can definitely tell it's starting to take shape. And for round 35, or to finish round 34, we're going to switch to color B. So like we've been doing, cut your B yarn previously and then use it. And then we're just going to single crochet 1 more row with color B, and then we will start working the brim of the hat. So I'm just going to single crochet in the round to finish round 35. And I will meet you back at the beginning of the stitch marker. Okay, so we've made it to the last stitch on round 35, and we're just going to change back to color A. And now we have finished working the body of the hat. We're now going to work on the brim. Take a photo. For the first round of the brim, we are going to start round 36, which is single crochet 27 increase. And this will be continued throughout the round. And this will be in color A. I'm going to remove my stitch marker and then single crochet into the first stitch and place my stitch marker. her back. And then we will start single crocheting 26 more. So and this is the increase we are finishing the round on. We're going to move on to round 37, which is single crochet 14, increase, single crochet 28, increase within the round, and then end the round by single crocheting the last 14 stitches. So we're going to do just that. Crochet 1, 2, okay, so we've crocheted 14, now we're going to increase. And now, since we're finished with that increase, we're going to single crochet 28 and then increase. So we've single crocheted 28, now we're gonna increase. And then we're just gonna repeat that. Starting round 38, I'm going to switch to my other skein of yarn just so everything's happening along the beginning of the round. So to do so, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing like when we switched to color B, except we are going to end the round by switching to color A. Ta-da! Now we're going to start round 38, which is single crochet 29, increase. And that is going to be repeated throughout the round until we get back to stitch marker. And you will likely see the brim start to take shape, maybe on this round or the next couple rounds, but it's just going to be a small, like, out. Gonna be a small flap. I didn't want anything crazy or dramatic, but yes, it should start to take shape soon. Okay, so we're going to single crochet 29 and then increase. So let's do it. Okay, so I've single crocheted 29, now I'm going to increase. And then I'm going to repeat that until I reach the stitch marker. We finished round 38, and now we're going to move on to round 39, which is single crochet 15, increase, single crochet 30, increase within the round, and then single crochet 15 into the last stitches, and on the last stitch, we will switch to color B. Okay, so we've crocheted 15, now we're going to increase. Now we're going to single crochet 30, increase, and then 15 single crochets within the last 15 stitches, and switch to color B on the last, or on that 15th stitch. So I'm going to cut my yarn and then switch to color B. Through. So for round 40 with color B, we're going to single crochet 31, increase, continue throughout the round. And on the last stitch, we will change to color A. So I've done 31 stitches. Now I'm going to finish the increase and then keep going throughout the round. Okay, so I'm going to work the increase, and then here I'm going to switch to color A. Yay, and that was our last color change. We are almost done. I feel like you can definitely see it starting to take the shape of the brim, especially when you like kind of lay it on itself. You can see along here is where the brim is forming. Cute. Okay. Now for round 41, we're going to single crochet 16, increase, single crochet 32, increase throughout the round, and then single crochet 16 into the remaining 16 stitches. So let's do it. Okay, so I've single crocheted 16, now to increase, and then I'm going to single crochet 32, increase until I reach the last 16 stitches. Now I've done 32 single crochets, and now I'm going to increase. And then keep going. Okay, and this is the last stitch of this round. Okay, and now for the last round, we're going to single crochet 33, increase. And then once we're done with that, we're going to slip stitch 1 and tie off, and then tuck in all of our strings, and we will be done. So you're almost there. Let's do 33 stitches, 33 single crochets, and then increase. Okay, so I've done 33 single crochets. Now I'm going to increase and continue throughout the round until we reach the stitch marker. Okay, so I've single crocheted all of my 33 stitches. Now I'm on the last stitch and I'm going to increase. And now I'm going to take the stitch marker out and I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch. I'm going to tie off, leaving a long enough tail, and pull my crochet hook through to tie off. And I'm also going to cut the brown yarn. And ta-da! You have your bucket hat, but we still need to tuck in the strings. And here is my finished bucket hat. I have sewn in all of the ends on the inside, so it looks seamless, which is what we want. And I'm loving it overall. I love this bucket hat pattern. Like, I will make so many more bucket hats in the future, I know. And it will just be fun to test out different color combinations. So let me see a picture of what your bucket hat looks like, because I would love to see it, especially this summer, now that it's bucket hat season. And I'm especially excited to see all the different color combinations you come up with. For my next one, I'm maybe thinking an orange or a red, but I'm not sure at the same time. I will also say, now looking at my bucket hat, it definitely helps to have two colors that contrast. And I'm not sure how much these colors contrast, although I love it. I wish maybe I chose a lighter or darker shade of the tan, because I think they kind of just blend in. Compared to obviously black and white, there's going to be a ton of contrast. So I do suggest choosing colors that are very contrastable. And you can even do this by taking a photo of them in your photo app and then switching to the black and white filter to see how much contrast they have, which is probably what I should have done before I chose my colors. But yes, I cannot wait to see what your bucket hat looks like. Tag me, DM me, by Creative State on like every platform you can think of: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't know if you can send DMs on YouTube. Pinterest. Tag me. I want to see. I love seeing everything you create from my patterns. And yes, never stop crocheting. Because who doesn't want to have too many bucket hats in their closet? Like, there's never enough.